When they throw it to Edelman, I'm like, I can tell if it's a true bubble screen or if he's about to sling it. And I've never been wrong. I think Edelman's thrown it 6 times. I'm 6 for 6. So, shout out me. Shout out PFT commentary. Good for Romo, dude. And also, players are complaining that Romo is making $17 million a year because I think that would make him in the top 9% or something like that of NFL players. Or it seems like higher than 9%, but he's making much more than
$17 million more than what he made as a player any year.
Tony Romo player salary by year. Bum bum ba-dum bum. All right, here we go. So we're on over the cap. I think that would do it, right? If we looked at, all right, do you want base salary or bonus also, or cash paid?
Just look at the cap head.
Okay, cap number in 2016, $20.8 million. In 2015, it was 14.9. Okay, I'll just brief it for you. The only year he had a cap hit more than 17 is his last year, 2016.
Was his 2016?
He was, when Dak came in, apparently he was a $20 million hit to the cap, but he didn't collect on that cap hit. I think he was only paid. I'm looking at cash paid. I think that's the most important number. He was paid $8.5 million, which was his base salary in 2016. So he made his base salary. He made none of his bonus because he didn't play. So he was paid 8.5. For some reason, the cap was 20.8, which was included his potential bonus, but he never made it. In 2015, he made exactly $17 million in cash. So yeah, in that 2013, he was paid $26.5 million in cash, and in 2007, I think that was a really good Cowboys year too, $17.5 million. So yeah, now he's gonna make a lot more money, I think, doing this
for a longer period of time. Too.
Definitely, dude. He's gonna think about how old some of the broadcasters are, whether it's Al Michaels or even Phil Simms did it to a pretty sturdy age. Jim Nance, even his partner, he could be making a lot of money.
Collinsworth.
Yeah, Collinsworth. He's no spring chicken anymore. So good for Romo.
I feel like if you're like an average player with if you're like an average linebacker with, Romo still was the quarterback of the Cowboys. So he had, people knew who he was. Like, I'm saying, like, if you're like an average player, like somebody with a name who, wants to retire early, that's like the perfect thing to do if you're any good at it.
Yeah.
Like, you can just go into the ESPN broadcast easily. They looked Witten in, he was terrible.
Witten was so bad, but I'm sure he made pretty good amount of coin doing that too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's ridiculous. Yeah, and I just don't like how the players are being mean to him for making so much money more than they are. I think they're just salty. So Hot Cheeto Corner are all the NFL players who are giving Romo a hard time for collecting his dime. I don't think they could do what Romo's doing right now in the booth. They're not. Look at what happened with Jason Witten. He sucked. So, no offense to Jason Witten, huge fan of the show, but not everyone can do what Romo's doing. Plus, the $17 million he's making is coming from CBS, and the money they're making is from the NFL, which goes to the owners, which then in turn goes to them. So it's not really the same amount of money. The $17 million that CBS is paying Romo would not be going to the NFL otherwise. So, Hot Cheeto Corner, all the NFL players are actually in that corner. The draft cannot be watched internationally, so I figured for international audience and for Matt, I could break down what I saw from, not the draft, the Combine, from the Combine. So, standouts, okay? Also, note, is the 40 time even important? because I'm going to talk about some 40 times in a second. They showed like the top 10 fastest of all time, and 8 out of 10 of them are busts. So is the 40 time really important? Probably not. But I'm still going to talk about the 40 time like it's important. Just some standouts from the day or from the weekend, the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Jonathan Taylor was awesome. I think he ran in the 4.3s, 4.38 or 4.39. So obviously 40 time is probably the biggest indicator of whether you're a success in the NFL or not. And Jonathan Taylor had a good one. So mark him down for future Hall of Fame. Khalid Hudson out of Michigan. He put up, I think, 40 reps on the bench press. And I have to shout out my Michigan men. So shout out linebacker / DB. He did everything at Michigan. He wore number 7. So that number 7 is a number where you can pretty much do anything you want position-wise on defense. Chase Claypool, the only guy, he's out of Notre Dame wide receiver, only guy with the height and speed since Calvin Johnson, Megatron. He ran, Megatron's asshole. He ran sub 4.45, and he's tall, and he's big. So Chase Claypool increased his draft stock. Isaiah Simmons, linebacker, ran in the 4.3s. I think I hit on that a little bit. There was a punter that did 25 reps, but he's a punter, so I'm not going to say his name. I'm just going to say there was a punter who did 25 reps. There is a lineman, Tristan Wirfs, who had an incredible workout. He ran I want to say 4.85.
Update to the whole to your gambling situation with me coming
news.
home. I literally just got an email 2 minutes ago saying that VU is offering the opportunity now for me to get sent home and take online classes or to stay here.
Ooh,
which means this is the precursor to them saying you're going home.
Oh, absolutely. So now here's the thing. Do you want to get on the aggressive and say, yeah, I'll take your opportunity, or do you want to be forced out of there?
I'd rather get forced out.
Yeah, I would also agree with that. Stay there till your dying day.
Yeah, I'm staying on my deathbed. I have more work. I have work to do here, and that doesn't include my internship. That's the other thing. I have work to do here. Damn it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
breaking news. Thank you for that breaking news, Matt.
Yes, you're welcome. So I might be home sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
I probably won't be.
That puts a huge hitch in our bets. But to keep briefing you, thank you, by the way, for the update. Tristan Wirfs, he's a 6'5", 320-pound man, and he ran a 4.85. He also had a 36.5-inch vertical jump, which was better than 30 of the receivers at the Combine this year. So, guy's an absolute animal. He improved his draft stock by a ton. I think some people actually have him as like 4th or 5th or something like that. Let's see. Just breaking down the quarterbacks. Herbert, I don't like his hair at all. I don't like the way he throws. It throws like he's aiming. Apparently, he's really good against the blitz, but I don't really care. He threw it 60 miles an hour, which is pretty good. But Herbert overall didn't like him. Jalen Hurts, absolute domination, dude. He's a beast. He dominated the Combine. He's an athlete. He has a strong arm. He has the only question about Hurts is his vision and anticipation, which you can't really see at the Combine because it's just people running routes on air. He has really good feet, they say. He's one of 3 quarterbacks in 2019 who were responsible for 50-plus touchdowns. He ran a 4.59. He threw 54 miles an hour. He had a 10.5 broad, and he had a 35 vertical.
Is this Joe Spinoza bringing up more facts?
Yeah, exactly, dude. I'm embracing my inner Joe Spinoza, but Jalen Hurts is going to be like Joe Spinoza's Kirk Cousins. Jalen Hurts is that to me.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. Fromm was underwhelming. He underthrew a couple of balls. He doesn't have a strong arm. They say he's good with the timing and stuff, but I don't know. I don't like him. Jordan Love, I didn't like him. I don't even want to talk about him. His footwork sucks. Definitely can't start the first year. Strong arm on a couple of routes, but other than that. And then Jacob Eason missed a lot of balls. He has some good arm strength. They say top shelf arm strength. 62 miles an hour is what he threw. And his NFL player comp, Josh Allen. Throws hard, not accurate. Wide receivers, this might be the best wide receiver class in a lot of years. Ruggs ran a 4.27. Everyone was thinking he was going to break the record, but 4.27, so interesting for Ruggs. But like I said, all the people who run fast end up being busts. Jerry Jeudy is my favorite wide receiver in the draft. Ran a 4.46, great route runner, so generates a lot of separation at the top of the route. His nickname is Mr. Smooth, given to him by Michael Irvin. CeeDee Lamb did pretty well. Great hands on the gauntlet drill in which you catch the balls going back and forth as you run across the field.
Yeah.
He didn't even break stride. He looked great. And then CeeDee Lamb had they now put in a new drill at the Combine where they basically work on fades for the wide receivers and how they can catch it and high point it. He jumped up, he twisted, he dove, and he toe tapped. He had the best fade performance out of anyone. Justin Jefferson out of LSU. The 40 was pretty impressive for him. 4.44. Really, really good for him. They compared him to Keenan Allen. Most receptions in the history of LSU. Good job. Chase Claypool, already talked about him. The only knock on him is where Megatron is just freaking Megatron, which is his NFL player comp. He doesn't really look like a natural catcher of the football, which is Chase Claypool. It doesn't look. He looks like struggles a little bit with it on the gauntlet, either a little hitch or a little jump up. I don't know. That's just my observation. And then, of course, shout out Michigan man, Donovan Peoples-Jones. Great vertical. He helped himself a lot at the Combine. He ran a 4.56 and he takes big strides. I think DPJ, he caught some people's eyes. He caught some people's eyes at the Combine. So now it comes down to the quarterbacks. The two top quarterbacks, which people are projecting, are the two that didn't even participate in the Combine this past weekend. Joe Burrow and Tua Tagovailoa. What do you think?
Nailed it. Well, all I know is the Bengals will ruin Burrow, and the Dolphins will probably ruin Tua. So is there any point in talking about it?
Dude, if the Bengals even pick Burrow anymore, you think they will?
The Bengals? Yeah.
Dude, okay, so here's this. Rich Eisen, who's a great friend of the show, he said this when on the Pat McAfee show, he came on for a little bit. So Burrow had come out and said about the Bengals, quote, if they take me, they take me. Okay, and you don't think that's not the worst thing to say, but if they take me, they take me. Okay, cool, Joe Burrow.
Not the best thing to say.
Not the best, but Rich Eisen said this to Pat McAfee. He said, Pat, you recently got engaged, right? Pat's like, yeah, I did. Yeah, I did, Rich. And then Rich is like, okay, so what if you heard through a third party that your to-be fiance, who you were going to engage to, said to her friend, well, if he proposes, he proposes. How would that make you feel, Pat, right? As soon as you're about to propose to her, how would that make you feel? And Pat's like, oh, yeah, you're right, Rich. So if they take me, they take me. If he proposes, he proposes. So I think the Bengals, to be honest right now, are looking for ways to get out of having to take Burrow number one. Either you can't take someone else, but you could trade back for sure. And I don't know. I think someone would love to move up and try and snag Burrow. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Bengals fell in love with Tua. I can really picture Tua in a Bengals uniform more than I could picture him in a Dolphins uniform for some reason. The Bengals uniform just works better for him. I don't know. That's just my opinion. So don't be surprised if the Bengals try and move away from Tua. But I really like Tua's a good guy, dude. He's a good guy. He seems nice. And then next quarterback on my big board, dude, Jalen Hurts. Like I said, dominated. Let's see him get taken. He's a quarterback, and you know how I hate quarterbacks if they're not Tom Brady and they're on the Patriots. If the Patriots drafted Jalen Hurts, and Brady came back, I'd be like, okay, cool. He can sit behind Brady